Chapter 6A. Sam. Zach was always someone who did a lot of thinking after he discovered a revelation that he probably didn't want to know. The fact that our leader betrayed us, killed one of the greatest hunters that ever lived, and that possibly did it simply because of power, that's something that no one wants to think about their leader. But if that's the case, then, well, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what to think. The war horn's been sound. The other orders know exactly what's going on. Which means that war is inevitable. No one is going to be able to understand the war that we're about to undertake. The world is definitely going to be changed. By us or by Dalen, that's still up for debate. There are 5 orders: Moon, Crimson, Pale, Dark, and Omen. The Omen order was probably the one I went with after the Pale order. The life I lived, it wasn't a pretty one, to say the least. I took lives without thinking. I destroyed families because they got in my way. But all of that's behind me now. What's done is done and can't be undone. It's not that I don't believe in the Omen order, but after hearing this, I'm starting to have some doubts. My leader betrayed me. The person I looked to the most stabbed me in the back. I thought it would never come to this. I thought of all people, he'd be the last one to betray the order, and especially his best friend. Everyone knew about their relationship. They were very, very close. It was bad. It was going to take a week to get us to Morlith Castle. I didn't know exactly if that was a good thing or a bad thing. But we have to move. What is there to say other than this is a joke? All of this was a joke. We should never have listened to Abby. We should never have gone to face Dalen. We wouldn't be in this mess. Granted, we wouldn't have known about this mess had Dalen not made himself known. And plus, if we told Max, we all probably would be dead by now, because his anger is getting the best of him. He ordered half of our army to go after Dalen. That's not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend half our army from every order. Of course, since he's the one who founded Dalen, I say found in air quotes, he's the one leading the charge. Blasted. Out of all the people it had to be him. Blast, this is getting out of hand. We need leadership. We don't need anger. Something that he is very clearly expressing greater than any of us. What am I saying? Of course, he's our leader. He knows better than any of us. Heaven forbid. I digress. Took us a week to get there. I was more concerned about Abby. 2 weeks in Dalen's castle. 2 weeks. No one in their right mind would spend a day there, let alone 2 weeks. This is bad. This is really, really, really bad. But we have no choice. We have to press forward. We have to stop Dalen. If we want it done right, we have to do it now. Max, what were you thinking? This is not going to be a pretty battle. Even if we kill Dalen, a lot of lives are going to be lost. A lot. It's a certainty. It's a certainty, and it's also a reality most hunters accept that if we're called to war, not all of us are getting out alive. That's just the reality of our world. Hunt, kill, and destroy. That is all we know. That is all we've ever known, and that is all we will ever know. I never really was happy with the way the world was. It was a constant cycle. We fought monsters, they fought us. We killed them, and then we move on to the next target. That was my life. That has been our lives. That's not a good life, to say the least. I don't hate the Hunter's Order. I don't hate them at all. I don't think this is a wise idea. We need alternatives. We need better ways of doing this. We don't. We're going to die. That is how this world works, and that is how it will always be. Unless change comes. But who am I kidding? Maybe our next set of hunters, maybe our next leader, whoever that is, if Zach doesn't die, if Max doesn't die, maybe it'll be for the better. Personally, I don't think Zach is a good fit for leadership either. He's too proud, too angry. He follows Max pretty much to the letter. I've never heard him backtalk Max except for a few days ago. That was the first time. He's always been a good soldier in an army. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that a soldier follows orders until they know they're wrong orders. And I want to disobey this one, but I'm obligated to fight against Dalen. He has my friend. I'm not going to fight Dalen. That's suicide at best. I believe that we are walking into a trap. We're walking into his trap, something he very clearly knows. He knows he has us outnumbered. He knows he has us in a position that he can play. And he knows it better than anyone else. Things are going to get ugly fast. And if we're going to die, we're going to die honest. We're going to tell everyone that Max betrayed us all. During one of our meetings on how we were planning on attacking Dalen, we got together and we were discussing the first plan of attack. There are 3 plans. The first one is what happens when we make first contact. Next one is our archers and our rangers getting the best of them, trying to clear it out as best they can. And then the third plan, all-out assault. One of the commanders, William from the Crimson Order, said, I say we send in flamers. They'll be able to burn these creatures to the ground before they even get a chance. Then the Pale Order said, what about our assassins? We could probably make a move then and there. Then the moon. How about we do an air attack? We have strange devices that are still experimental, but then Max interrupted all of them. No. We go with my plan, which is to send in the hounds. The hounds. An elite group of hunters. We paid them, but some of them stuck around. We just called them the hounds. It's suicide for them. The hounds are the best of the best, don't get me wrong. But against Dalen, they're all dead. Zach and I just had enough. We said, listen, we have a problem. And the Dark Order member said, what? What's wrong? The Dark Order and the Omen Order have always gotten along really well. The Crimson Moon and Pale, on the other hand, they have been problems for us in the past. We said, we can't go in this fight, not without you knowing the truth. And Max said, is this really a time for this? Yes, it is, Zack said. Do you want to tell them the truth, or do you want us to tell them the truth? Either way, they better know what they're getting themselves into and why we're doing this. He didn't say a word. Zack then said, fine. The reason we're here is because Abby went there. She wanted answers on her mother's death. As do we all. The Crimson Order said, is there a point to this story? Shut up and listen, Zack said. Then I said, Dalen told us a secret, something that is very important to understand for this attack. We're not going just because of Dalen. We're going because Max is the very reason that Vivian is dead. What? The Moon Clan leader said. What do you mean he's the reason? Max knew about her death, okay? Max knew about Vivian's death long before it happened, 2 months in advance. 2 months. That would have given you plenty of time to stop this. Kill him, and we wouldn't be in this mess. He didn't say a word. Not a single word. Everyone, myself included, was staring at him, expecting an answer or some justification. But no, there was none. And he said, we move in with the hounds. Afterward, we'll have the rangemen do their thing, and then we'll charge. Nothing. I said. Nothing. That's it? You are saying nothing to the fact that you are a murderer? Max, is this true? One of the leaders said. Yes. Yes, it's true. I knew about the death 2 months in advance. She died before I even had a chance. You did nothing. And now you're so concerned about cleaning up your own mess that you're dragging everyone else in it? I died that day. I died trying to defend her. You did nothing. Don't you understand? Once this is over, we will follow your lead until this is over. But once it's over, so help me, you will be tried for treason and you will be executed. So help me, if it's the last thing I do. I swear to you, soon you will die. I had never reacted like that before. I never imagined I would actually threaten my leader with treason and execution. But I said every word and I meant it. She was dear to us all, Zack said. And you took her away. I may not have known her. I may not have known who she was. But she's dead now because of you. She was important to the Hunter's Order, and now she's dead. Happy with yourself? He said, listen, I will pay for my crimes. I will admit to that. But until this is over, there is nothing that you can do to stop me from getting my revenge on Dalen. You mean cleaning up, tying up loose ends. Is that the real reason we're here? I said. We move out in 3 days. Tell the men to get ready for a battle. Okay? I nodded. But I hated it. I hated him. I hated everything to do with him. He was a murderer. He butchered someone without laying a finger on them. Everything that she's done was to protect the Hunter's order. And he butchered her for it. Granted, he wasn't there, but he's the very reason she's dead. And no one deserves that fate. Not even the worst of enemies. To be stabbed in the back by one you called a friend. No one deserves that fate. No one at all. But what's done is done. Can't be undone.